Don't be all weird on me.
Yeah, buddy. Welcome to our stream tonight.
I do. Silence.
Yes, silence.
Welcome to a moment of silence.
Yes, welcome to a moment of silence. Okay. Sorry, everybody says it's a good idea to have your stream in the background. But yeah. So, I like your idea.
Wow. That was rather random.
What's so random about it?
I like your idea, but nobody knows what idea. I don't even know what idea you're talking about. It could be anything.
It's the one you proposed to me earlier.
Which one?
The zombie idea.
Oh, that you want to talk about the zombies tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you going to preface that?
How am I gonna what?
How do you preface that? I need to get people all hyped about zombies, about our boring discussion about zombies. And everybody's sick of zombies by now.
And unless they heard what you told me, they would be thinking differently.
Well, okay then, why don't you clue people in? Or I will if you don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't.
Okay, well a couple of days ago, Ray asked me a very interesting question. And I thought about it, and yeah, I figured out how I would do it. And what she said is, if you could make a movie about zombies, how would you do it?
I did.
And I said, at this point, zombies are played out. And nobody's going to believe that they're hyper intelligent. And okay, what was that zombie movie with Will Smith?
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Okay, great movie. Don't get me wrong. But I don't believe for an instant that mindless creatures are going to evolve into something that can set traps and shit. But then again, maybe they will. You never know. Okay, that just seemed a little far-fetched to me. And this, okay, 28 days later, I've brought that up before, and I really like their take on the zombies to where they're like just these fast fuckers that are, I want to eat your brains. Okay, and then you've got Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead. I mean, you got all these zombie movies. So you got all these, but they're all basically the same, are they not?
Yeah, they are.
And then you throw in, what's that movie that you like that we just watched?
Alive.
Well, that was a good movie too, but the more recent one, where it's in Vegas.
Oh, Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. Okay, so I like their concept. I really do. Again, I don't know that I buy. They haven't given me a reason to buy that there can be intelligent zombies, right? So either A, you have to sell an idea of how it could happen, a feasible way that it could happen, right? Or you have to make them not smart. Does that make sense?
3D modeling. I'm just trying to find the right primitive. But that does make a lot of sense.
So, my idea was, why not take what's real and make it like an urban legend? Have it be that something with the COVID-19 strain meets the malaria strain, that it's in the Philippines, right? The malaria strain?
Right.
Okay, so somebody goes to the Philippines that had COVID-19 or had the vaccination. right? And they get bit by one of the mosquitoes that has the zombie strain of malaria. And somewhere in all of that, and COVID is the perfect thing to use because COVID mutates so fast, right?
Right.
So those two things coming in contact stabilizes the zombie virus. So maybe they're not quite mindless, but they're not gonna bring Mensa anytime soon. Okay, let's just put it that way.
Hold on, everybody.
Sorry about that. We've had a night full of cars racing down our street. Yes, in the middle of fucking nowhere. And fireworks going off all night, so it hasn't been a very good night for the dogs, but here we are.
Yeah.
So anyhow, what I was thinking was, so this person goes on vacation to the Philippines, right?
Right.
And unbeknownst to them, they get bit by a mosquito that's carrying this malaria. And they come home, like the day after. And you said that that malaria strain makes you die in 3 days?
Yep. Hold on, everyone. We're back.
So, Red's doing doggy phone. The dog is intently watching the screen because he wants to go catch the ball. Is that your dog, Ray? Is it your dog? So anyhow, what I was thinking is, though that's how you stabilize the virus. So the next thing is, how do these people act? Well, if you go back to the Haiti zombies, the reason that they're like that is because they literally died and they were awake for all of it. They knew all of it was going on and they could do nothing about it. So it drove them crazy. So they basically lost their minds and were not there. But in that aspect, they don't even have the rudimentary needs to do things. They just literally they have accounts of them just wandering around the villages moaning. And people take pity on them and feed them and stuff like that because they won't do it themselves. So that's one kind of zombie, right?
Right.
So you can kind of take from that, and I wouldn't want to do it like the other zombies, but I wouldn't want to make them like super smart. So basically, they would be the person to go home and die, but say they live alone or their girlfriend was somewhere else or some stupid thing like, or okay, quick way to get them to the Philippines. They met some girl online, and there they go, and then they come home, right? And you can make that whatever you want. But they come home, they die, they live alone, nobody knows they died. They wake back up. Okay, so if you are driven by your id as a zombie, how would these people be? Well, they wouldn't talk. I kind of picture a caveman to where they have rudimentary skills. They can remember, I mean, like opening doors and stuff like that, but not the capacity to build cathedrals. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so they would be able to communicate with each other through grunts and actions, and people would just think, oh, they're mental, right? Because we tend to shun people that are mentally ill in our society. So people wouldn't even notice them. They'd be invisible. And well, if you go by your id, what happens? If you go back to your rudimentary needs, what are they? To eat, to survive, right? And to procreate. Well, so yes, this brings us to a very interesting part here because you have two choices here. You could either make them like sex crazed fucking killers that are like fuckfesting everything, which would be like typical of a lot of horror movie kind of shit. But I would go to the fact that they know that that's not necessary and that they can bite people, and they pick people to bite, and they start just taking over. Like a kind of them situation where they just start taking over and nobody really notices. And then, you want to get real fun with it, give one of them rabies. Who knows how anything is going to mutate once it comes in contact with the COVID-19 antibodies or the breathing in of one of the COVID things. I mean, we're in a weird fucking time where this is like the perfect time for sci-fi shit, and you could use COVID all day. Because we know nothing about it, and it mutates like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So yeah, you give one of them rabies. There's your killer zombies. But they know if they just bite you, they can turn you. So that turns it into a game of chess instead of a slaughter fest, right?
Right.
Although you could have a total slaughter fest going on because they gotta eat too, you know? So, I mean, there's so many different ways you could take this and you could make it something somewhat tasteful for like PG-13, I guess, maybe. And then you could go all the way X-rated with it. And okay, X-rated also includes highly gore, intense gore, not just sex. So just keep that in mind, everyone.
Yeah.
Because when I think zombies, then yeah, I'm like bloodbath from hell.
Yeah.
Dead bodies strewn everywhere, and just yeah. But that was my idea of the zombies. I don't know. I don't know if people would like that or not. I'm beginning to think that the mindless zombies are where it's at because people just. You have people that are like overly critical of stuff, and then people that are just like, they like anything that people tell them they should like.
Yeah.
But if I was going to make a movie, I'd want to make it the way I wanted to make it and fuck what anybody else thought.
Come on.
Oh, you already know I got 3 movies in my head.
I got Disco Ball done.
Nice.
Had it come out.
Nice. Yeah, you told the storyline of a couple of them.
I have. I keep hitting it.
Now I kind of want to do a little series of short little horror stories.
Now you want to do a bunch of short little stories?
Yeah, we should do a little horror stories. That would be cool. I got the little anthology going on.
That would be
Look,
pretty
let's be
cool.
honest here. A lot of ideas are really hard to stretch out for 2 hours. And your average movie, okay, your low budget movies generally tend to be an hour and 35 minutes to an hour to almost 2 hours. But that's what you're looking at. And the stuff that I've literally filmed, we filmed for 3 fucking days and I barely had 5 minutes.
That sounds terrible.
Well, if people would have listened to direction a little better, it would have gone a lot smoother and we'd have had more footage, but I got tired of working in frigid conditions at 3 o'clock in the morning while my dogs were freaking out because people didn't want to listen, so I called it. I'm like, we're good, I got enough, I'm done. It was a good storyline.
No, it looked like one.
It was. There was a whole story that went along with it, but it was only played out. And then I had people trying to argue with me the whole time about how the story should go, and I'm like, did you fucking write it? No. Well, I did, so shut up and do what I told you to do. I even kicked one chick off of there. I'm like, you know what? I can't even with you.
Was she pissed?
Oh, yeah. Well, what are you going to do? We could make this a snuff film real quick, honey. Right?
Girl 101, don't piss my mom off.
Oh, I would never do anything like that. And technically, it was a snuff film. It just wasn't real.
Oh, that's why it looks wrong. Why it's not lining up for.
See, you forget I used to write plays. And writing a screenplay and writing a play are basically the same thing. It's just a matter of where it plays out.
I believe it.
I don't know. I think my ideas are a little advanced for this culture as of yet.
Not really yet, huh?
Well, I think things are scarier if they have a possibility of being true, right?
Right.
Isn't that the scary part of it? And how many of these movies and shit are just so impossibly unbelievable? Right?
Right.
So, are they, I mean, yeah, some of them are entertaining, but
Talk to me about it.
thank you. Some of them are entertaining, but a lot of them I watch movies while I'm doing something else because I hate wasting my time staring at a screen for something that wasn't worth the first 5 minutes I gave it. But I'm a stubborn asshole and will sit through a horrible fucking movie because I have hope for the end. There's gotta be one cool thing in this movie other than the credits, right? You're not laughing. She doesn't agree.
I totally agree. I'm
I-
just not laughing because.
I just can't do the mind-numbing shit anymore. You know where, like, mainstream everybody lost me and, like, a bunch of everybody went this way and I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm backpedaling and going the opposite way. Was when Beavis and Butthead came out.
Oh, goodness.
I tried to sit and watch that listen, but I just, oh my god, I felt my IQ dropping watching that shit. It was funny for like the first 2 minutes, and after that, it was like, seriously? I know people that talk like this. At first, I felt the same way about South Park. And I know y'all used to hear me and Jenny fighting about you guys watching that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Being pissed. I don't you let my kids watch that fucking crap. Now, you have to admit, in light of a lot of the other shit she used to watch with you guys,
I like that. What do you think?
it's overly fancy.
It's overly fancy.
Mm-hmm. See, you have to throw that graphic artist shit away. It doesn't. You want simple. Simple.
But it was.
Honey, sometimes less is more. Do you want them focusing on that or the lights and your cool disco ball?
Like my cool disco ball.
Then fucking simple. Right?
Is that simple enough for you?
Yes, very much so.
Yep. My mom's telling me to be simple now.
Hey, you know what? sometimes simple is so much easier and better. You gotta remember the psychology that goes with visuals. And you're thinking like a graphic artist, not a photographer or a cinematographer. And basically, photography is documenting something going on, whereas it's almost the only difference between that and filming it is you're picking what moments to take the pictures. Hell, some of my greatest footage I've ever shot, I couldn't even see what the fuck I was doing. The back screen, someone handed me a GoPro and said, "Hey, can you do our set?" I'm like, fuck. I was like, "So you don't want any pictures?" They're like, "Nope. If you'll run around with this, we're cool." So I did, and I lost the back screen, and I had never seen one of those before. So I just walked around filming, and I kind of figured where the focal point was, and yeah, it was pretty fucking badass. But that's how ingrained in me this shit is.
That sounds pretty ingrained.
Well, you saw the footage?
I did.
I was impressed. Oh, every once in a while, if one of my favorite songs comes on, I'll switch it to video. Usually I'm too close to the speaker and it sounds like shit, but from the back of the venue.
Yeah.
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 Did you turn the microphone?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, the mic's back on.
Usually I see the green bar. I'm like, are we talking to thin air again?
Yes, we're talking about
Testing. Can you hear me now? But yeah, so what would you do with the zombie? You've had a couple of days, and I told you my idea and gave you a couple of days, so what do you think?
What would I do with a zombie?
Yeah. You always make me come up with the stories. I know you love having a story time with Mom, even though now it's zombies and shit. Zombies and skinwalkers, oh my.
What are we planning?
I'm not planning anything, I'm just telling stories.
It's the monster match.
So anyhow, yes, I get you. I get it. But what would you do? Literally, the sky is the limit because
I would have different types of zombies. I would start with something slow, like in The Walking Dead, how they have the walkers. And I'd start with something slow like that, and like the freshly turned people, depending on like what type of zombie they were bit by, depends on like what type of virus they get. Like there'll be some that like are like completely crazy with rabies.
So what's your virus origin story?
I didn't think on that one.
Ah. So they just appeared one day.
No, what I'd do is I'd mix rabies, mutated strain of malaria. Yeah, rabies, mutated strain of malaria. What's that virus? That flesh-eating virus that they've been talking about? That
MRSA?
yeah.
MRSA's evil.
And what's that one that's like blood? It's a virus in the blood.
There's lots of those, But okay, I get you.
And I'd mix those four together.
Why would they mix those four together? They're tormenting poor animals again, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
It's bad enough they make them wear lipstick and eyeshadow and hairspray. Fuck! Sorry.
Yeah, that actually looks really good, Mom. just need to add the speaker for a name.
Okay, so you'd stick with the regular storyline. So what would your storyline be that would make it different than the rest of them? I know you're obsessed with The Walking Dead, so that's why I asked, because you like to go off of what they say, but I mean, what would you do? I mean, how would your characters be? How would they interact with the zombies?
Figured it out. Sorry. Well,
You know those are what hang from the ceiling, right?
that's not what that is.
Oh.
You'll see.
It's his head!
What does every speaker have?
I don't know.
Push that down there because we don't want to. Well, every speaker has one of those little ball things.
Oh.
Yeah. You just gotta get it to the right proportional size that you match.
Okay.
The ones that have the right.
So you're talking about the padding over the speaker itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. You're good, you got me there. So you haven't really thought about it, have you?
I haven't.
Okay.
You know, I learned a lesson recently.
Yeah?
Yeah. My meds do serve a high purpose.
Listen to your mom.
That too.
Don't be a jerk.
Okay. When I go in and out the texture room for it, it's will look amazing.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
I thought about this though. I mean, you gave me something with really long.
You know what? You should actually put a DJ's name instead of DJ Booth. Because it's kind of redundant. We don't know what DJ it is, but this is his booth, goddammit. Get
Well-
the fuck out the DJ's booth.
Right now, it's just DJ's booth because that's filler lettering. I was gonna say DJ Cthulhu.
No. You gotta give it a cool name. What would
DJ Kraken.
No. I guess Cyclops, honey.
Uranus. He goes in the crack.
Oh my god, why do you always gotta bring it back to the ass?
You know how far Uranus is from us? If you draw it out on a long piece of paper, it sits in the crack.
You're funny.
I
Anyhow,
learned that in high school.
what would be a good DJ name?
From heaven. Yeah. Goodness.
See, I have no clue.
I need to think on it.
Well, I know a bunch of DJs, so they all have different names. Like some are like associated with their real name, and some of them have a name that's like completely different. And yeah, I don't know.
Okay. If I were a DJ, what would my name be?
No soul required.
Hey, you did that.
That would be perfect.
I got a shrink throat right in a second.
Actually, just get rid of the DJ part.
That's all required, huh?
Yeah, you're so damn special. You don't even need them to know you're the DJ. You're so required. By the way, that's a play on her being a redhead.
Yep.
Don't ever say that to one of us, though, because I'm not a ginger, and neither is she, so.
I just have that
But
thing.
she's related to gingers, and my sister was a ginger. Dude, my sister was Raggedy Ann with a big old fro. I don't know how the hell she got that hair, but man.
Raggedy Ann with the big old fro, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what you secretly called her behind your back?
Oh, I didn't call it behind her back. My sister and I had a unique relationship. I was Pippi Longstocking. I was even Pippi Longstocking for Halloween quite a few times.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Have the beams up above with the cool looking lights.
Something like that.
Anything. Since it's no so required. What's your room?
Yeah, fun. You know.
You have a fun weekend up ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there's about 3 pennies on the oven.
Alright, we'll be right back.
Slow down, bud.
Alrighty, we're back.
Mhm. So I was telling Ray there was actually more to that story than that. That was just the basic gist of the zombies.
Mhm.
And she said we should have story time with Mom. Now, I didn't know the whole story, but while I was thinking about it, I did come up with a better beginning.
Okay, we're ready.
You talked me into this midnight snack thing, so damn it.
It's called Almost Midnight Snack Time.
Yeah,
And you
I
gotta be
know.
like, almost midnight snack time, almost midnight snack time.
And just a change. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so anyhow, if you made the guy not even travel out of the country, so you don't have to specify where they came from, because technically speaking, you don't want to say that it came from a specific place, because that is a big no-no, right? That's like negatively going to impact some place that people think that came from. You came from there, right? Look at what it did to Haiti. So you have the guy being influenced, and he orders these random mosquitoes from this random site, and they send him random mosquitoes that randomly have the malaria virus,
Yeah.
and have him be sick and get bit by the mosquito, right?
Right.
So that would explain everything that I said about how the zombies come to be. So, Jude's an entomologist, so he's probably real quiet to begin with. So nobody really notices a change in him, and he starts collecting people. And some of them don't stay, and that's kind of where you break off from that storyline and you go to the next storyline, which is the main storyline, because you needed to give a little bit of background, right?
Right.
So, it's pretty exciting.
Need a hand with the dogs.
Yeah. I'll see how you are. Okay, so somewhere out in the woods of somewhere in the world, right? Okay, boys, this is getting ridiculous.
Right. Why don't you go ahead and tell the story? I'm going.
Well, you need to hear the story too.
Like someone's got to take me out. Good point. I'll do that.
So yeah, I guess we're taking a break here.
No. Mango Pepsi is awesome. Yeah. It tastes like
I know my opinion on this.
it tastes like a fizzy mango.
Mm-mm. We got 1,000,001 flavors. In beverages of all sorts to choose from. And I find it absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it never tastes right. Although I do prefer artificial banana. And I like watermelon.
That's simple. Okay. Let's see how I have this right.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah, it looks like speakers, don't it?
Yeah, except for the top's supposed to be a little smaller. You have your treble on your bass? Or are you just all bass?
Well, the top's supposed to be a little smaller, but I've seen some speakers like that where the treble and the bass are equal.
Yeah, it's not treble on bass. Okay, so anyhow.
Do you blame them?
So you have Sally Smalltown. Just graduated high school. Dog doesn't want to hear it. He thinks it's too scary.
Why are you just being butt?
Okay, so she just graduated high school. She's on her way to name a big city.
Atlanta?
What?
Atlantis?
Atlantis. She's going to Atlantis to go to college. What college is in Atlantis? Great.
Never mind, not Atlantis. You said name a big city.
Yeah, I didn't mean some mythical city. God damn it.
It's not mythical.
This is how you do interactive stories. What? Give me a city.
Mm,
Really?
I'm thinking a little too hard on this one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's say New Orleans. So it's all where all the dead people are anyway, right?
What college is in New Orleans?
Hmm?
What college is in New Orleans?
I don't fucking know. Fuck you, this is my story, you? I love you. Well, you wouldn't give me a city, goddammit.
Okay.
And well, they, okay, Elford, stop. Just go with it, okay?
Okay.
God, now I don't even want to tell you.
Fine, don't tell me.
Yeah. You would go cry in my potato salad.
Why are you gonna cry in your potato salad?
Were you being mean? You're not helping me with the story.
I'm trying to figure something out because that didn't render.
Well, see, now your computer's breaking your heart.
You're breaking my heart.
Yeah, but you're breaking my heart.
You're breaking your heart.
The joke of breaking my heart. Okay, I'm just kidding. Stop. Stop. Just stop.
Over.
Just stop. Hurry, shut that window, please.
Alright.
Okay, so anyhow, she's on her way to New Orleans from Alabama. Okay, and she's on the last leg of the trip there. And she's about to run out of gas, so she stops at this little nowhere gas station in the middle of fucking nowhere. Kind of like Sedalia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and while she's there, the people are kind of weird. They're like, no. What?
Good thing I sold my soul to the devil for a jelly bean and a cigarette.
Oh, how funny. I don't. Okay, so the people there are kind of weird. They're like real quiet. And they seem to grunt a lot. You get where I'm going with this?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so she gets her gas. And she's getting ready. She goes. And she comes just a ways outside of the town. And there's this kid standing on the side of the road. And the kid looks like they've been through hell. So, being a good Samaritan from a small town and trusting people, she pulls over and picks up this kid. And is asking them the whole, well, hey, I'll take you to the police station, what have you. And like I said, she's on the last leg of the trip, so, the next stop is where she's going. Okay? So, she goes and takes this kid to the police station or whatnot, and da-da-da-da-da, and then she goes on about her merry way and does her thing for a little while, right? So this is where your story breaks off. I'm not going to continue if you keep interrupting me, though.
Hello, how you doing tonight? Okay.
Okay, so she's rid of the kid. She goes off to college, right?
Right.
Well, the first day of college, she wakes up and doesn't feel so good. Right? And over the course of a few days, she progressively gets a little worse. But she goes about her daily routine. So you see her in classes and whatnot, and so on and so forth. Okay, stop it. He is looking at you. You need to pull your attention over there and give it to your damn dog, please.
Dying.
Yes, he's going to die if you don't look at him right now.
I'm absolutely
Let me go do it.
Hey.
But okay, so that's what's going on with her. And between little glimpses of what's going on with her, you've got what's going on with the kid. And well, they take him in, they can't get anything out of him, right?
No.
And he fights one of the police officers for no fucking reason. And they put him in a foster home. Alfred, enough. Okay, come on. So you have this whole cat and mouse game. The girl realizes something's wrong after being around this kid, right?
Right.
The cop that got bit realizes something is wrong after being around this kid. So both of them go on a hunt to find this kid, to find out what the hell's going on with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you bring everybody together. Because they're like, what the fuck is going on? And they gotta track down this kid, and the whole time this kid is biting select people. Enough. Enough. Okay, so what's their main objective? To eat and reproduce, right?
Right.
Okay, so
I was gonna say eating's one of them, isn't it?
yes, eating's one of them, and to reproduce. So they know that they can reproduce. It's an instinct thing, genetic, whatever you want to say. But they know that they can reproduce by biting people instead of eating them.
Yeah.
Okay, so they finally, lots of shit happens, they get together. I haven't figured that part of the story out, but it should be a little fucking wild little ride, but really short to get there, because the rest of it's still gotta be told too. And then you, bring all three of them together, and there's this little army of the dead, basically.
Yes, look at Ilford before Granny has Ilford stew and meatballs.
Nope, just that leg. And he got real nice after I said that. Just that leg and that tooth. That's gonna be my
Okay, so I
charm.
gotta figure out how to create this.
Okay, but anyhow, so they all three get together, and because they're now zombies, because I guess I want to make it as painless as possible to turn into a zombie, because I think it should just be as easy as going to sleep and waking up. Right?
Right.
I mean, why does transformation always have to be painful? Wouldn't it, you would just go on about your regular life because you wouldn't really know that anything is different. And that's how they go without detection, and that can be an evolution point to them, like an octopus. Perfect camouflage, right?
Right.
Okay, so they get together and they can talk amongst themselves, and you'd have to subtitle this part for people, or if it was like book form, you'd have to say it. But they talk about the rabid ones. And how the only way that they think that humankind is going to survive is if they're turned, but if they're bit by one of the rabid ones, they turn into one of them. And they're like they're like the Vikings of the fucking Evil Dead people, okay? And then it's an all-on battle to kill the leader of the rabid ones. And I haven't gotten that far yet, but enough. I don't care about
Hold on. Where back? So, while I was out there, I was looking up what I should do from this stuff. In the dark.
So what do you think?
I like it.
Mostly, okay, so you have this battle where it's the two zombies fighting each other and the humans are really non-consequential in it. Right?
Right.
And then you could have the second one where the humans are fighting the zombies because they realize that that's total annihilation of human race if they win. Right?
Right.
And then you can have a third one where some mad scientist decided to see what would happen if one of the evil ones bit one of the good ones
Yeah.
and evolved this super beast. So you could do three of them right there. Because that'd be too much for one movie.
Yeah.
And well, you know me, I just want everybody to die at the end, so I don't care if you're the hero or what, you die. You're all dead. Everybody dies. And see, isn't that kind of a play on society, talking about how even the good ones they're going to kill because they're threatening their way of life?
Yeah.
So what it comes down to is it doesn't matter if you have good intentions or bad intentions, you're still killing people and you're spreading like a disease. So, but there you go. There's my zombie story.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't know what's wrong with him tonight.
I don't know either. I have been up and down with him. I checked their food and water. Food and water is good. Yeah.
He's so tormented puppy. Why are you shit talking tonight? Huh? Why are you shit talking? You don't get to eat the birds. You don't get to eat the cat. You get all the sticks in the yard though. You do, you get all the sticks that fall in the yard.
Enough of that DJ booth. They haven't fixed it.
Yes.
Now,
No.
render it.
We don't go out and market the cat or the house.
There's reversal required.
We don't do that. We don't need to do that. We're good dogs, right? No time fear at Fun Wrinkle Dude. Rip and I don't get along very well.
There you go, Granny.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I pulled it out.
What did you call out?
No Rip Fun Wrinkle. So See, our dog has split personalities. He's Ilford, and then his bad self is Rip Van Winkle. Yes, I know I should have just named him Rip Van Winkle, but no.
I slept her above the DJ booth.
Yes. Enough.
That's what the DJ
That
booth
is
is
enough,
for.
Rip. Where's the good boy? Where's the good boy? No, where's the good boy? You'll make yourself go to timeout. You will go to timeout. Oh, psychology.
It worked.
For now.
So yeah, you dig it?
Give it 5 minutes. He's nasty. He's stubborn. Nice. I dig it.
That took me a while.
So you do that trick to me on purpose, don't you?
What?
Ask me weird questions like that and then make me think of something. I'm pretty sure I was a bard in a past life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically just got the outline of the story. I could do a really cool story around that.
I could see it.
But that's how it starts as a skeleton, and then you build it up. Kind of like with our story.
With the DJ booth, you get the scratch disc thingy. Or
And look, guess what?
computer.
You could switch it out for zombies and make it the Black-Eyed Children, and you got your storyline for your fucking next video game.
Damn.
Boom. There you go. Multitasking.
Damn.
And aren't they vampires anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it work the same with vampires?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. There's your storyline. And you can play as, I think, I don't know, you should pick the characters that you play, but you've got the two main characters right there. And
Yeah.
the boy is the guide. Right?
Right.
And then you have a nemesis, and the objective is to kill the nemesis. And then you could do a second game with it where your objective is to kill the Black-Eyed Children that are overpopulated.
I like that idea.
And then a third one where somebody mutated them into this fucking God knows what, and you got another story right there. Just saying.
You know what I can't wait for?
Like,
Another crap kit.
I know. Yay.
I finally purchased it.
I can't wait.
Where can I?
Because I have cluster that it doesn't matter if the girls break it or not, I won't be upset. so we can make them their own figures and let them do their thing. And I got a shit ton of other clay they can use.
Other play?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a shit ton of scrap clay and you paint it anyway, so
Yeah.
when you add the details to it. What it is it's actually this mold for this really cute little figure. And you're supposed to use clay and make it into something else. It's like the base to make whatever you want, whatever kind of figure you want. And you use Primo clay, which is what I work with a lot, to do it.
And me.
I work with it more than you do, but yes.
Yeah. Alright, you got it. And me.
You get frustrated with that and overheat it and make it goo.
Yeah. I'm picky.
But that's what it is, and then you paint it and you can make all these little, and the mold is reusable, so you can keep using the mold and make as many as you want, and I just thought it was really cool. And I'm kind of excited. I've been kind of plotting a character.
You too, huh?
Yes.
I want to make my Medusa idea.
That would be cute. That would be very cute. Of course, I was thinking a dragon or something, but
You're funny.
do you not think that would be absolutely adorable, a little kid in a dragon outfit?
Yeah. I'm just talking about me being picky.
Yeah. She gets frustrated with her clay.
I do.
I usually play with clay when I'm mad, because then I can beat up the clay. Although I did finish the alien bottle finally.
Yeah?
Yeah, it didn't come out as good as I wanted it to, but that being my first one and my first try at it, it was pretty decent. I know what to do now and what not to do. And I know not to use Primo Clay for it. Unless I'm going to do it all at once, because it gets too hard to work if you leave it and go back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And I don't know, but for some weird reason I'm seeing a Cubone.
Cubone.
Yeah. Don't you think that'd be cute, Cubone?
Detective Pikachu.
No, it was kind of their Cubone anyway.
Mm. Anyway.
Although they did put my favorite Pokemon and all three of my favorite Pokemon in that movie.
They did.
Now I know I just gotta go in and kick the shit out of my Magikarp and maybe it will transform. I'm kidding. And that was pretty cool, no spoilers, but that was fucking badass. If you like Gyarados, you have to see it.
Yeah.
And no, they don't kick the Magikarp. I know, you want to go, you're looking at me like, shut up, woman. Silence. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, James just kicked the helpless goldfish.
Maybe she's picked a helpless goldfish. What?
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Dream rocket.
Yes. Yes. I am aware. That would be. But anyhow, yes. It is that time.
It is. Thank you for coming out and watching our stream. We hope you enjoyed it. Nice little DJ booth going on here.
Hey, story time with Grandma.
And great story time with Granny.
Yeah, it's not that great, but.
Odor abuse. Odor abuse.
Anyhow.
Have a great night at work. Have a great day, night, whenever you see this. Thank you for coming out and watching our stream.
Have a good night. Much love, everyone.
Much love.